word, just like any other word, and it could be relational points. It could be building relationships, getting to know people. It could be it could be selling things. It could be a lot of different things depending on your level and what you're looking for. And you're going to find people that will match your vibe when you connect with enough people. The biggest problem that people have on LinkedIn is that they're not connected with enough people, period. If I take a look at your profiles, some of you are above average, some of you are below average. The average person on LinkedIn has 440 connections. The average CEO has 930 connections. So me studying LinkedIn and looking at people are underconnected. That's a big problem. Now, when it comes to connecting, if you want to close business, whether it's business through relationship building or whether it's direct business, you need to understand who your target market is and who your centers of influence are. Target market or ideal client is figuring out who can do business with you right now. And ideal center of influence is who works with the people that you can do business with right now. Because a lot of people are like, oh, my ideal client's not on LinkedIn. I don't care if your ideal client's not on LinkedIn. I really don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I want to know who works with your ideal client because I can leverage that trust. Keyword for joy, leverage. I could leverage that trust and get in the door without having to go back and forth and send a bunch of spammy messages to somebody to convince them and manipulate them to get me on the phone with them so that I can qualify them, so that I can sell them, so that it just becomes annoying. When I show up to a networking event, my goal is to be really present there and see what the universe has for me. That's my version of networking. I'm not looking to connect with everybody. I'm looking to be present and see where my attention goes, see where the energy flows, see what's happening around me. And naturally, the right vibrations will send me to the right place if I don't have an agenda. The difference between networking and prospecting is when I'm prospecting, I'm hunting. I have an agenda. I'm looking for something. Yo, you got a problem? Yo, well, solve it. Check out my hook while my DJ revolves it. Right? I'm looking for people with a problem. I'm looking to solve a problem, like Vanilla Ice. And ice is not a popular word these days, although it's still chilling. So the idea is connecting with people and seeing what happens. I always say you got to water the plants and let the sun do the rest. You know what I mean? You got to go out there and water the plants, make sure that you get rid of the bugs, and then let the sun do the thing. But you got to put the plant in the sun. The sun is like being on LinkedIn. Watering the plants is you connecting with people and trying to build relationships and having conversations. Someone told me I've been part of BNI for 2 years. I get nothing out of it. It's a scam. It doesn't work. It's a cult. And I said, okay, everything's a cult, first of all. You're a cult. Everything's a cult. But BNI really works if you know how to work it. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, how many introductions have you made to people in your group in the past year? And he's like, I've been there for 2 years. I don't know, I made 5 introductions at least, and I got nothing out of it. And I said, it's not that networking doesn't work. It's that you don't work. I make 1,000 introductions a year. That's 3 a day. It's not such a big deal for me to try to connect people and make introductions and be a conduit of blessings, but I'm constantly offering people. I just offered an introduction for one of my clients to the president of a $30 billion market cap company. Why? Because I see a personal connection. She's single, he's single. I can see that they can vibe. And it could turn into business too, but that's not the point. The point is I see a connection and I want to be a conduit of blessing. So for me, my hat that I wear when I'm on LinkedIn is I'm thinking to myself, how can I add value to your life? How can I get on the phone with you and just add so much value that either you'll want to do business with me or refer business to me or become my friend? And if the answer is like you don't like my vibrational energy, then you're not for me. It's like the door's locked. I'm not going to try to break the door down. Some people are like, oh, bust the door down. Call them 1,000 times. No, I don't believe in that. I believe that the natural path will flow like water flows. And when you hit a rock, don't try to move the rock. Flow around the rock or wear the rock down like water knows how to do. So for me, there's a very strategic checklist that I have of the activities that I need to do, like watering the plant. And that checklist will help you be able to succeed more and be able to put you in the right place at the right time. You need to have grace and serendipity and all that in life. We are where we are because of that, because of a relationship. But you also need to make the effort to build up the strength and to be able to learn the lessons in life. LinkedIn is a paradigm where anything is possible because you have direct access to the most influential people in the world. Direct access, no gatekeepers, direct access. So for example, there's a list of the Inc. 5000. Have you guys ever heard of the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in the United States? All the companies on that list have to be a minimum requirement of $2 million in revenue. The biggest companies there are $5 billion in revenue, somewhere in that range. And they have the fastest growth, anywhere between 100,000% growth over 3 years, all the way down to 60% growth over 3 years. 20% a year, which is still really fast for a private company. They claim that they have 100,000 companies that look at every year, and 5,000 of the fastest ones they put up on the list, and then they rank it based on growth, revenue growth over 3 years. Every year for the past 10 years, since I've been on the list, I've been analyzing the list and reviewing and seeing, okay, what's happening? What are the trends? This year, 75% of the list are brand new companies that were never on the list. And it's interesting to see how just a few years ago, it was 50% of the companies were on the list year after year, and things are changing. You see a big percentage of the companies that are on the list right now are based around artificial intelligence because of what's going on with the trends over the past 2 years. It's very, very interesting, the concepts and the things that I'm looking at, and then learning how to be able to take that information and connect with people over that on LinkedIn. Here are the 4 activities I recommend everybody do on LinkedIn every single day. Number 1 is connect. Connect with 20 new people a day. You're able to connect with about 100 people every single week. Max out your connections. But don't just connect with anybody. If there's 1.2 billion people, get really clear. Have a strategy. I help people build their strategies around LinkedIn. And by the way, I don't charge anything for it. The reason I don't charge anything for it is because I have a software. It's called Evie AI. And with my software, if you buy the software, I throw in $10,000 worth of training. That's just kind of like my thing. I want to make an offer that's so good, people would feel stupid saying no. I learned that from Alex Hormozi. Have you guys ever heard of him? He wrote a book called $100 Million Offers. I highly recommend you read his book. It's a very valuable book. I like it. I got a lot of value because people are not buying you. They're buying your offer. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're not buying what you did or what you could do. They're buying your offer, the perception of what you could do. And so if your message is off, this is for like Asha, like if you're sending somebody a message and it's not related to them at all, and it's not a good offer, they're not going to want to get it. They're not going to be interested. And if you're not trying to build curiosity with someone and you're just flat out telling them what it is, they're not going to want to dance with you. If you walk into a room and you see someone you want to date and you tell them everything about you, every last detail, there's no mystery, there's no excitement, there's no curiosity. Why would they want to date you? They know everything about you. It's like they're married for you for 20 years and you didn't stop talking about yourself. What about them? People only care about what's in it for them. They're only thinking about themselves and their problems, and nobody wants to hear your BS. So when you're coming in from a place of curiosity, a place of connection, a place of making it for them, just like you would in a regular networking event and in real life. So that's the way that you need to approach LinkedIn, in a very natural, organic way, but take the actions. 20 connections every single day. I would recommend posting once a day because you never know how far a post will go. You never know who's going to see that post. And when you're posting, make sure to include a hook, main points, a call to action, and hashtags. Max 3 hashtags. Don't include a link. So that's the idea. You don't want to include a link in the post because otherwise the algorithm won't send it out. As it is, the algorithm is being very difficult right now. But if you get 50 people to see your post, that's not a terrible thing, 50 of your ideal clients or centers of influence to see your post. People complain, only 50 people saw my post. I was like, did you pay for the post? Did you even write it, or did ChatGPT write it? What are you complaining about? 50 people saw your post. One person liked it. Now, nobody liked it? Okay, maybe you're not the one leaving comments on other people's posts. Leave 5 comments a day. Why should I leave a comment on someone's post? Because when you leave a comment, you're actually giving to other people. The secret to living is giving, not waking and baking or faking and taking. Well, if you want to wake and bake, that's fine by me. The idea I have is like you got to give to other people. And when you leave a comment on my post, you're actually giving me something. You're giving me your attention. You're giving me your network. You're giving me value. So, number 1 is make sure that you connect to 20 people a day. Number 2, and by the way, Joy, you can have your assistant do this. Now, does it comply with LinkedIn's terms and conditions to have someone log into your account? No, it doesn't comply. But it also doesn't comply to copy and paste from LinkedIn anything. And I'm sure you've copied and pasted someone's name from LinkedIn, and their terms and conditions says you shall not copy anything from our website. So like you broke the terms by using it. By using LinkedIn, you broke the terms. So you have to like be smart about not taking too much action And also, if they're going to log in and they're from the Philippines or from Malaysia or from Pakistan or from God knows where, make sure they're using a VPN and they're coming in from sunny Minnesota. You know what I mean? If that's where you're from. So use a VPN. Be smart. You can even have them log into your computer and use it on your computer if you want. You could use technology to help you, but don't overdo it. If you're going to overdo it and you're going to message too many people, they're going to ban you. That's just how it works. Also, pay for LinkedIn. People that pay attention. If you're not paying for Premium or Sales Navigator and you're serious about it, you're not really serious about it. You know what I mean? I would say pay for it because it's important for you to have caller ID. Caller ID is knowing who looked at your profile. So when someone looks at my profile, so on your checklist every day is check to see who's on your caller ID. If someone calls your phone and you don't look at the caller ID and you blindly accept, what are you doing? Look at the caller ID. On LinkedIn, the caller ID includes first name, last name, company name, where they worked before, everything. Go ahead, Asha.
So if we do LinkedIn Navigator and we message somebody that we're not connected with, does it pop up as that in mail?
Not necessarily. For
Okay.
them, for sometimes it'll show up as in mail, sometimes it won't for them. It depends if you have mutual connections or not. But for the
Okay.
most part, I send people in mails all the time and they accept it because it's a very relevant in mail to them.
Got it.
I can do AI research on any of you. I'm going to share my screen just to kind of show you. Can you let me share my screen, Kianga? And I know we're almost at 20, so we have 5 more minutes. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to go ahead and save Joy's profile over here. And when I save Joy's profile, I can deploy an agent. I'm also going to save Kianga's profile. I can deploy an agent. So I have a series of 7 agents I can deploy. I'm going to deploy one called Perplexity. This is a Google Chrome extension I'm using called Evi AI. Disclaimer, it's my business. But if I go over here on the left and I take a look at everything about you, now I know a lot about you, right? I know how you help clients. I can look at your Instagram. I can look at your website, notable achievements, what you've achieved. Wow, you're an award-winning author of Achieve More by Saying Yes to Less. No wonder why you want to leverage your assistant. You're former CEO of a marketing company serving Fortune 50 companies. Amazing. Healed chronic asthma and back pain by adopting holistic whole center, blah, blah, blah. Wow, okay, so now I have conversation starters to speak to you about, potential business opportunities, rapport builders. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, and I'm going to save it as a note so I can look at this later because I really like what Perplexity found about you. See, with the click of a button, I'm able to research any of you and find everything that I can about you. I'm going to use Claude, for example, and I'm going to do a little bit of a deeper research on Kianga just to kind of show you. I could also use Copilot and do a little bit more on the surface research. And this tells me everything about somebody. So now when I'm reaching out, I don't have to be weird and just reach out in a cold way. This is leverage right here. The fact that AI can do all the research and show me your YouTube channel, show me where you're based. You're in Seattle, Kianga?
I'm in Spain, but
Okay.
the last sort of social media tag for me was Washington. It was a long time ago.
Okay, cool. Got it. Isn't it interesting that it picked that up? Integrating emotional wellness and relational dynamics and leadership development. Cool. So if I want to be able to like build a relationship with someone, I'm going to accept the connection request over here. If I want to build a relationship with someone, I need more connections, right? You need to have more connections. Every connection becomes a follower. And you need to do your research on each person. And that's why you can't connect with 100 million people, right? Even though there's 1.2 billion people, the max connections is 30,000. If I take a look at my max connections over here, I'm going to have to remove some people to add people. You see that? Because I'm at 29,999. You're my latest connection. So what's the first thing I do when I connect with you without being weird? Well, the first thing I would do is I would say, thank you for coming to the presentation. I appreciate you and looking forward to getting to know you. And I press the little send button here, and boom. Do you see the way I said that, Asha? But I didn't have to type anything because I'm using AI to help me type it. You see? I have a little AI assistant on the side that saves me hours and hours each day. So, Joy, I would have your assistant use a technology like this that complies with LinkedIn's terms and conditions, does things manually, like have templates. I have these little templates over here. So if you want to know what mistakes people typically make, I have an article with all the mistakes people typically make. I have a category called article promos. And these are the mistakes people typically make. I'm going to go ahead and send you the mistakes article. And even a quiz to see if you're making those mistakes. You see that? I just shared an article with you, Asha. If I want to share an article with Joy, I'm not connected to Joy. So I'm going to go ahead and click on View in Sales Navigator. I'll be able to view you in Sales Navigator, and then I can click on Message here, and I have credits I can use. You see that? 147 credits. And then I can send you a different article, which is my LinkedIn strategy article here. I just sent you an article. But do you see how fast I was able to do that? Because I have these templates all set up with all my resources and everything that I need to do, and so on and so forth. My point is, you can save a lot of time by using the right technology and having the right strategy and joining the right community. Those are the 3 things I recommend everyone have. So, recap. You need to have a checklist for what you're going to do each day or what your assistant's going to do for you. If you want more clients, you need to have more conversations. That means you need to get on the phone with people. I recommend 5 conversations a day, every single day. They don't have to be sales conversations. They could be just networking and letting people know what your goal is. If you don't have a business networking one sheet, I recommend getting one. I have one on my profile on my featured post. Go check it out when you get a chance. Also watch a 14-minute video on my profile. And if you guys want a special deal on the assistant that I have, it's just a few $100s a year. Kianga could send you her affiliate link if she has one. But if you don't, it's eviai.com/bundle. And we're bundling in $10,000 worth of training for $984 a year. And it includes unlimited posts, comments, messages, AI research, a community of 1,200 people, and blah, 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 blah. That's the idea. My mission is to bring together 1,000 people to get to know each other and refer business to each other and build relationships and comment on each other's posts. It's not rocket science. I'm not looking to target 1 billion people, right? Some people are like, I want to target 1 billion people. I can't even think of 1 million people. I can't even think of 100,000 people. You know what I mean? But if you had 1,000 of the right people, I can think of 1,000 people over the course of 10 years. You know what I mean? Like I could build 1,000 relationships over 10 years. That's 100 a year for 10 years. I can do that. And those could be deep, meaningful relationships that vibrate with me that can help me be able to generate an impact. So much positive joy and so much soul-centered stuff. Use your assistants wisely. Get them the right tools. Get them the right strategy. Have them help you by being part of the right community. And then you'll be successful at what you're doing. You'll get on more conversations. The key performance indicator you need to think about is, am I speaking to people every day? They don't have to even be the right people, by the way, because those people know the right people. You know, so if you're talking to an HR coach, you're talking to a consultant, you're talking to a VP, you're talking to a janitor. That janitor's uncle might be the CEO of one of the biggest companies in America. The guy just has a fetish for cleaning toilets, you know? It happens. Anyway, did you guys get value from this today? Yes?
Totally.
I got some
Thank you.
thumbs up. Yeah. I really enjoy doing this. This is what I do all day because I enjoy doing it. I also do a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit of real estate, a little bit of this. I'm an investor in several companies. I enjoy that, but this is like where I get, you know, the juice for me is like nerding out, making Chrome extensions, vibe coding, playing Fortnite with friends. You know, like just this is where it is. I can walk outside, nurture my tomato plant, come back in here. I live in Jersey. When I lived in Brooklyn, the only grass I had is grass I can smoke. Here, there's tons of grass I can walk on and ground and meditate and run in the park. You know, it's beautiful. So, you know, just be present with people and love all the people in your life. And if someone doesn't love you back, they're just suffering right now. So don't worry about them. The door's locked. Move on. You know what I mean? But make sure to do your work. You got to connect with enough people. If I look at your profile and you don't have 1,000 connections, you haven't been doing the work. You haven't been connecting. You've just been collecting. Oh, man. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. Kianga, what did you hear?
Thanks, Joe. I heard that there is regular tending that's required to make this work.
And it doesn't have to be the right tending. Eventually, it'll become the right tending. It just needs tending. Put water. Someone's like, oh, but it's not great water. You're supposed to pee on your plant because it has... I'm not peeing on my plant. I'm putting regular water from the faucet. If it doesn't like the fluoride, we'll deal with it. You know what I mean? I'm not collecting my pee and peeing on my plant. That's just weird. Joy, what are your thoughts?
Thanks, Joe. I saw a way that this looks a lot more leveraged than the approach that was a possibility before.
Awesome.
So
I'm really glad you got value. And Asha, what did you get from this? All the way from Boston.
Hey, I went to Rutgers.
Yay.
Yeah, I was just in the Jersey Shore. I know that I haven't been putting attention in LinkedIn to connect, mostly because I haven't learned how to speak LinkedIn. And I think I just got to do what I do in other spaces and just do it here.
Yeah, speak human. And I think people will appreciate that language. And worst case scenario, speak alien, and the right aliens will appreciate that.
Yeah, it's felt buttoned up for me.
It's
Uh,
not. It looks buttoned up, but no one's wearing underwear. I'm telling you. Just go there and have fun.
yeah, so thank you. I just got to put more energy.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. And looking forward to seeing you on LinkedIn. I have a lot of resources on my profile that you can get. I have a lot of free resources. And if you guys decide to grab the bundle, then you're going to get, so many, so many, so many resources as well. So,
Did
um,
you say 480? I didn't hear the number.
oh, yeah, yeah. So, the bundle is $984 a year. I
Okay.
can put in the link to it in the chat, evi. Because it's not available to the general public because we usually charge $2,400 a year plus $10,000 for training. But we have a deal called the bundle where if you pay $984, you basically get everything, including agents, including unlimited post writing where the AI writes posts for you, unlimited comment generation where the AI writes comments. Obviously, you have to review it first. It's not going to just write a comment and post it. But if I want to leave a comment on a post, I'll just share my screen and just kind of show you. So let's say, for example, Joey posted something. Let's see if she posted something here. I'm going to go to her profile here. I see she posts. She hasn't posted anything. Okay, sorry, Joey. I'm not going to be able to comment on your post because you haven't posted anything. But Kianga posted something 3 months ago. I recommend posting every day. Seriously, it's not rocket science. But check this out. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to give it a like. And I'm going to have Evie AI tell me what to say. I'm just going to click on these 3 dots over here. It'll read the post and just write something. It said, Kianga, I love the perspective on desire. And I'm going to tag you here so that you get a notification. It's so true that leaning into what we want to do, blah, blah, blah. Let's chat about how we can tap into. And I'm just going to say, thanks for having me talk to your group. And I'm going to press comment. But do you see how much time this saved me instead of me having to type all this or use my mental energy to do this? I have an AI that I push a button and boom, it happens. And if I want to change, let's say, my goal, my tone, my persona, I can change all that over here. You see?
Joe, can you train it on your voice?
Absolutely. That's what these personas are about. So if I want to be a chill vibes person. Chill vibes means make a lot of spelling mistakes and sound like you're a 14-year-old teenager. It's gonna it's gonna sound like chill vibes. So this is what a chill vibes reply would be. It would be like, yo, I totally get what you're saying, Kianga. It's wild how we think about we're gonna, seeing our desires as obstacles, curious, and everything's lowercase and misspelled and whatever. You know what I mean? So yes, you can train it to sound like literally however you want. That's a significant way to be able to do the things that you need to do. So but yeah, we call that personas, and I have lots of different personas over here that I trained. I have personas for LinkedIn, Twitter, WhatsApp, whatever. It works everywhere. So you could literally use it everywhere. I have a contrarian comment generator. It says give a 2 sentence contrarian comment that must be no fluff, do not echo, skip over adjectives, blah blah blah. You see, and then it tells. I also train the AI on who I am. I'm a gangster rapper. Yo yo yo, my name is Joe, and I'm the B2B sales pro. Let me teach you how to grow. I'm a wannabe rapper, not a gangster rapper. But yeah, that's the idea. And then we have a great community. We have 1,200 people in our community. We get together. We support each other. We have regular events every day in our calendar. We have a LinkedIn exposure party happening at 11 a.m. We have office hours with Carlos. We have a social proof party. We have onboarding at 5 p.m. today. We have a template party tomorrow, a posting party from Barbara is hosting a posting party. So our clients go in and host their own events within our community because they want to be leaders within the community. And we have a leaderboard, and everybody gets ranked. Whoever does the most stuff within the community gets ranked, and blah, blah, blah. So it's a little gamified. And then everyone kind of introduces themselves here, what you do, how you do it. You see all these people, all these intros. So it's kind of like a whole network of people. So Nathan just said, my name is Nathan. I help leaders with blah, blah, blah. Welcome. And that's the idea. So this guy wrote over here, he said, looking forward to accelerate our marketing, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go here, and I'm actually going to share my recent post here in the group so that I just posted a video of me and my friend walking down the street. This one right over here. You see? Me and my friend walking down the street, talking about whatever jazz. And then I'm going to go here into the group, and I'm just going to say, here you go. I just shared mine. And then I'll comment on his. You know what I mean? We'll kind of support each other. So at 11, they're all going to get together and put up all their posts there, but he got it ready to, you see? I just left him a comment that says, wow, Philip, it's super helpful. Decluttering photos is like so needed these days. It's like so needed with a lowercase I. You think AI would write that without training? You know what I mean? Vibe check. Anyway, that's the thought process. Well, I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for having me.